Wake up! Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening, wherever the heck in the world you are.
Wherever you
Welcome,
are.
welcome, welcome.
Welcome to Wednesday and the
Welcome to
first
Wednesday.
day of the rest of your life.
That's right, exactly. How does it get even better? What else is possible now, Ben? What grand and glorious adventures await us today, and how can we be better today than we have ever been before?
That's a great question. Well, let's find out.
Let's find out.
First of all, if you're listening while the universe is catching up, I just want to say thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe here. And this
Yeah.
is a dialogue. And so if there's something you're hearing that you love, comment and ask us questions.
You know
Daniel's
you want to listen to it
all about
over.
asking questions.
Exactly. And you want to listen to it over and over and over and over again just because Ben and I are so inspiring. Right, B?
Right. Always.
Exactly. Exactly. How are you today? Well, wait, I guess we should get going on the other platforms, huh?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm here.
So wherever you are, I heard someone's talking. Let us know where you're coming from today.
Hi
Uh,
guys. Where are
Leo's in the
you?
house and Justin. It's so exciting to have you all here. Christine.
Hi, Leo. Oh, Christine. What's up, Cheryl? I miss you. Mwah. My
This is
girl.
great. See, if you come on live, then we get to have a live reunion together.
Yeah, we get to
And
play.
yeah, we'll really interact with you.
Yeah.
So tell your friends, tell your neighbors, spread the word because this is becoming a podcast. If y'all don't know, you're already part of it. So
Yeah, Churl. How does it get any better? What else is possible now? What grand and glorious adventures. Yeah.
so
Ben, how
where
are
are
you?
you? I'm okay.
Okay.
Um I am better today. I'm in a creation mode. I
Okay.
arrived sick
Uh,
and
we just got disconnected.
oh
Oh, are we back?
well I yeah, I think we're good. Let's see what
You
happens.
would swear it's Mercury
Instagram is
retrograde, but it's really not.
no. I'll bring you you're coming back. I sent you another
Okay.
invitation.
Okay, we're good now.
Okay. Yeah, so for those of you who don't well, I started you don't notice because I started with my sweatshirt on. I'm actually sitting by a huge heater, so I'm sweating, but I woke up pretty cold this week and have been cold ever since. We got our second snow here in the Hudson Valley, so I've gone from extreme heat to extreme cold. My body's not loving it. I've been fighting a cold for a few days. And
How much of
Kat,
that is yours? How much of that is
yeah.
yours?
So I was about to say, I've really that's a good question. Probably a lot of it is not mine.
Exactly.
And I've noticed, there's the pull to complain about the cold and complain about the difference. And
Totally.
but there was also something that happened that was really amazing this time, and that's that we asked for help. And we had friends step in like angels, and we came in and our dead plants had been replaced with new ones, and
Oh,
there was like flowers around, there was new coffee on like in the place, our bathroom was clean.
humanity.
I've just found out there's sleds across the street, so I can't surf but
But you can sled.
I can sled.
You can snow
So
surf.
yeah,
Oh,
I
wait.
mean, I'm all about, I just posted something the other day about finding wellness and
Yeah,
success starting with self-care. And for me, that's all about play,
of course.
rest and play,
Absolutely.
and grounding with you in the morning. So it's been a great opportunity to see like, hey, what can we continue creating? And on
Yeah.
top of that, I just want to share. People were like, "Oh, when are you going to come home from Costa Rica?" Well, I went somewhere that I loved. I followed my heart, and I booked more work as an actor and coach than I have in a long time there because a lot of the people I was looking for were there. And then acting jobs
I
have
love
started to
that.
fall in. So I've flown back to New York to do more stuff. So there's more things coming. And the exciting thing was I'm in my home studio now. So I get to be with you, Daniel, and all of you at home and create this new time.
And are you already in this point in this place, are you looking forward to going back to Costa Rica?
I am. I am very much
Yeah.
so.
You
I
know, I
mean,
have to
one of
tell
the
you. Yeah.
we got land there. We actually I don't know if we told you, we
You
bought
didn't tell me that.
land there. We
Oh
officially
my
did
god.
it. We signed yesterday. It's something we've
Wow.
been talking about for 8 years since we first went together, and we just decided, it was this. Well, we can't get a house, and we wanted to get houses, and we were compromising things, and we said no. We're not
Mhm.
going to compromise anymore. We're just going to ask the universe for what we want. And
Mhm.
by the time we left, it really showed up and it became really clear. We kept meditating on it, and have
That's
spent
awesome.
time there. And so my vision is that we have a place here in the mountains of New York and there
Uh-huh.
in the tropics of Costa Rica, and we can do retreats together there, Daniel. That's what I'm really excited about, bringing all of you
Everything.
there.
Heck yeah. That's
Yeah.
such a great idea. Yeah, you know, before we started today, I said to Isaac, I was playing with Isaac for those of you who are tuning in. Isaac is my precious 3-year-old. I'm gonna call him my godson because he's really incredibly special. And I'm hanging with them right now in the Hamptons in New York, and home is in Mexico, right? So
Mm.
every morning I wake up, I tell Isaac good morning, I give him a hug, we say our morning prayers, and then
Mm.
I go back to my room and do my thing. And today I said, all right, I'll see you later. And he goes, are you going to Mexico? And his mama goes, not yet, not yet. And he goes, oh, okay. And I realized that he sees me. He sees me. He sees my heart. He sees my happiness. He sees my joy. And I'm really excited to go home. I'm really excited to go home
Mm.
to Mexico. I'll go home on Saturday. Not that I haven't enjoyed every single second of being here, right? I have enjoyed every single second of being here and really enjoying every moment that we've had to be together. And I also, in addition to that, really appreciate my home even more in the life that I've created in Mexico, you know?
Mm.
And it was so cute to have Isaac kind of like see that. We're kind of like psychic buddies anyway. And he's like, are you going home to Mexico? Or not home. He doesn't say you're going home because he thinks this is my home. He goes,
Yeah.
are you going to Mexico?
Aw, I love that. That you actually, so it's possible, we have like, oh my God, our children aren't gonna like, what if we go somewhere else, or we, we're traveling, how are the kids gonna deal with it? And you can actually like, he knows. What I'm hearing is he really knows, he can trust that you're going a place that you love and you're also always coming back. Right, and that there's
Exactly.
that
Always.
consistency, and that he's actually excited for you because he can see that, and he knows that
Totally.
stability, right? And that it doesn't become about
Absolutely.
him,
Yep.
and that's something that, we got really awoken. Thank you for sharing that. It was beautiful.
Of course.
We got awoken to being there every time we go to Costa Rica, we like want to start a family, and we started that process and just took the lid off, so to speak.
Amazing.
And you talked about change this morning on your daily download. So I always want to give a shout out to that. That's actually part of my morning practice. And it was so perfect because I was like, oh my God, I've literally shifted climates. I've
Yeah.
shifted setups. I've been working with Dell recently, so I've been learning the worlds of PC again,
Well, you also shifted your reality.
and
Let's be
realities.
honest.
Yeah.
You know, you shifted your reality. When we do that, I think, there's a great, again, I'm always quoting Paulo Coelho from The Alchemist. When
Mm.
the when you ask for something, the universe conspires to make it happen, right?
Mm.
And you kind of have to align with that energy. And it's like, we go through our lives in this place of doing the same thing over and over and over, and as Einstein says, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Yes.
But we don't
So good.
we don't put two and two together. We don't put two and two together to recognize and realize that also is energetic, right? When you think about it, every single time, I'll tell you, in my studies of Kabbalah, from thousands and thousands of years, The Zohar speaks about how every single time you travel, every single time you move, you reincarnate. So it's a
Mm.
reincarnation within this lifetime, right?
Wow, that's
And so
powerful.
imagine how often, Ben, you and I especially, like we're always
My
traveling,
God. Yeah.
right? How many different lifetimes are we in incarnating within this one?
Mm.
And when will be, for example, when will be the lifetime in this lifetime that is the lifetime for you to welcome in that soul, right? And
Mm.
same for me. I am ready to have my own family. I'm ready to adopt, do something big in that way.
Mm.
And I think I had asked for it so much in New York and in that area, and it just wasn't really. It just never felt light. It never felt ease. And in Mexico, it feels ease. It feels all of that. And so when
Mm.
we change our physical location, we also welcome the energy to shift, to change our lives too.
Mm.
And that's what I think is such a contribution, recognizing that the revolution happens within us. As I was talking about this morning, the
It
revolution
is within
happens
you.
within us. And we know that that which we see in ourselves is a reflection of the world, right?
Yes.
So how amazing would it be to create that, to change, to create that revolution
Mm.
within us, and then have the world like light up
Yes. Yes.
because of what we've chosen.
Yes. And I
So
love that you said that it was inside because there's this feeling sometimes we go to these beautiful places and it's not uncommon that I meet so many wandering souls that are trying to find themselves in these beautiful places and they're there wandering, seeking home. And it can often there's a saying also wherever you go there you are, so you can
yeah,
go to this
exactly.
beautiful place but your soul, your spirit's still there, but there's an opportunity to create newly, right? It's kind of
Yeah,
like I said, like watching neurotic Americans or New Yorkers coming into the beaches and the jungles of Costa Rica, and for like the neuroses almost doesn't work with the land and the
yeah,
environment. And so you just kind of watch it come in and then watch them melt and the land absorb and take over. And there's an opportunity to create newly. So wherever you are, no
yeah,
matter what land you're in, even if you are in the same place, we
yeah,
are always changing. Our cells are always changing. And there is an opportunity to create with yourself because your soul is, these things are with you. And so you actually get to have a rebirth if you choose to.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And I want to really, I want to honor that process for all of us because change is inevitable. Right? It is inevitable and it will happen no matter what. But will it happen because you're being proactive or will it happen because you're being reactive? Will something have to
Mm,
force you to change, like God
mm,
forbid, illness or death or something horrible like that? Will something have to force you to change or will you proactively change so that you can create greater ease with it all? You know what I
mm.
mean?
So when you follow your heart and go to the places you love, you actually create that
Yeah,
change.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So Christine is writing in the chat, the repetition compulsion is by far the most evolutionary process we've ever had. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we find ourselves so addicted to that repetition. It's like it's as long as I can wake up and know that it's that Groundhog's Day
Yeah,
syndrome, right?
yeah.
I can wake up every day and I can look at the world and say, okay, I want things to happen the same way because then I'll know I'm safe, right? I know what to expect,
Yes, it's familiar. And that's
right?
even the same reason why people stay in abusive relationships, because the
Right.
fear of change is almost greater than the familiarity of some kind of security, even if that security isn't actually safe,
That's right.
right? We just get to count on it. So we literally can create. I love to talk about it as with vinyl records and grooves in a record. And so if you keep playing the same one over and over, you wear that groove in time and time again. There's probably some better modern metaphor for the youth listening, but you know all you have to do is sometimes you've got to just pick up the needle and move it over, and it may go back to that worn groove, but eventually if you just keep picking the needle up and doing one small change, you start to wear a new groove and new patterns can create.
Right.
And you also said something beautiful this morning that can be just teeny tiny things. Movements can create that revolution within you.
Yeah.
And it's
Exactly.
often what happens in coaching, things like that. It's not revolutionary, it's not rocket science, right? We're just actually creating accountability to move. some and take some slightly different actions, right? And those things really can culminate and manifest your dreams, whole new worlds for you.
I have a question for you, Ben. Let's get a little personal for a second, can we?
Sure.
If you look back, let's say, I don't know, however long you want to look back. If we look back in our lives and we see where the greatest light was revealed, meaning the greatest happiness, the greatest joy, the
Mm,
greatest success, 9 times out of 10 we can connect a change to that,
mm,
right?
mhm.
We can connect something significant from our life that was a change that kind of propelled that energy forward.
Massively,
I know
yes.
for me, I know for me it was my divorce.
Mm,
That was incredibly painful and incredibly impossible, and I was definitely in that space of, you know what? At least I know here in this place everything's taken care of more or less. You know what I mean?
mm, mhm,
I knew that what I had gotten used to and whatever it was, it wasn't bad. There was nothing wrong. I just wasn't growing. I wasn't changing. I wasn't evolving.
mm,
And that was the hardest thing for me to do. That was the absolute, probably one of the hardest things, one of the most challenging things for me to ever endure in my life. But it has created exponentially in my life so much that, like, I am now able to truly, honestly, and with integrity say, I live my dreams.
mm.
I live that which I have been asking for since I was like 10 years old, you know?
Wow.
And so I'd
Yeah.
like to ask you, like, would you like to share something from your life that was also, um, that created greater for you from change?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so there's so much. I guess this is a great example. I mean, the last 16 months, the pandemic, really.
Yeah.
Like inside of that, it's put some things into motion. And so my wife and I were on Cassie and I were on tour with our band Dirty May. And Dirty May
Ooh,
was on our way to Maine, and every gig March Friday the 13th shut down, and we were welcome to stay there for a little while. And I'd really struggled with leaving New York City. I'd lived there for 22 years, and
yeah,
in
me
the
too.
in the three boroughs, Manhattan, basically two, Manhattan and Brooklyn. Um, and suddenly we were living in this different place, and I felt so held by this family, yet so removed from my own. And through the course of this year, like lost my father, realized that we shouldn't move back to our New York City apartment. The home we had chosen in the Hudson Valley wasn't working out. And we really felt, my wife and I felt really lost in a way, but also there's something guiding us. She also lost her grandmother in that time. And
Yeah.
then our baby niece was born. And so all of these things, there's all this, I guess I was just really tuned into fatality and all this death and also life, right? And we were really traveling a lot, but it felt so scary because I'd never not had a home. Like I lived in the same, I lived in Chattanooga, Tennessee for 18 years and the New York City area for 22. There's not
I
much
know.
in between. And that process of death actually allowed me to grieve, to create a rebirth. And inside of that, like, the lion's den was born, and our home, we found a home in the Hudson Valley and in Costa Rica, and we really asked ourselves a question in our relationship and within each other, like, what matters to me?
Yeah.
What do I really need? What does my heart need? And if there's no one else, we're not listening to anybody else's opinions, really honing in on that. And when you get to enough quiet places, or remove yourself from your daily routines, these things can really rise. So I believe it was in that sort of break, and probably I would um, almost project that a lot of people have gone through some kind of break in their life and change, especially with the pandemic. Things just shift, and if you allow yourself to grieve and go through those feelings, and that breakdown is actually, love to talk about it. Think of it as a breaking open, right?
Hmm.
And inside of that, like, real deep truth and emergence can come if you allow it, that
Yeah.
space to really be reborn and rebirth.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. For sure. And the pandemic was such a contribution. Look, I know it sounds crazy, but I did the same thing you did, except I did it globally. When the universe, when the world shut down, I was like, I'm out of here. You know, I also had only lived I was born and raised in Orlando. I went to school in North Carolina, and I moved to New York
Mm,
City. And I was in New York City for 25 years, and I was never fucking leaving. You know what I mean? And other than a brief stint in Los Angeles, I never left, and I could never imagine myself living outside of New York.
mm,
And when the pandemic happened, and I was, for lack of a better term, stuck in my shoebox apartment in Hell's Kitchen, my studio apartment in Hell's Kitchen. Um, I realized that I no longer wanted to be confined. And
mm,
I'm talking energetically. I'm not just talking physically, because I loved that apartment. I love New York City and I love living there. But confined energetically, thinking that that's the only place for me, that it's the only home that I can create in. And I had an opportunity to go to Turkey, and I went to Istanbul, and I spent like three
mm.
months in Istanbul, you
What?
know?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
During the
my gosh.
pandemic, you know? And then I did this thing where I would find all of the places in the area that would let me in. So I went to places that I never would have gone to. I went to Serbia, and I went to Albania, and I went to any place that would basically let me in. And I saw parts of this world that I would have, I'm going to say, never consciously chosen to see, right?
Mm,
I would have never consciously chosen to go to Albania. Who chooses to go to Albania? Or, you know,
mm,
but it was amazing, and it was gorgeous, and I met so many amazing people, and I was so grateful for the experience. And again, what was it that created that? It was the force. That was that
mm,
forced change. That was that forced energy of, look, go do something differently. Go do something differently.
mm.
And
Wow.
um and I love that, you know, and I want more of that. I'm asking for more of that. Let's ask
Yeah.
for more. Universe, give me more.
And you're a lot, yeah, you could ask for it. And you
You
may,
know?
and it helps to be specific what you'd like more of, right? You've taught me that as well. Because we can all bring on more of anything.
Yeah, exactly. But there's always opportunity for more. There's always there's always an invitation, you know, and we don't need to wait for something to be the invitation
Mm-mm.
to invite us. We can be the invitation ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, you really can. And I love to think of it as just creating, co-creating. You can create your life right now. You can be the
Yeah,
invitation. You can be the ask. You don't even have to have the answer or need to be the change, whatever that looks like to you. You could
exactly.
literally sit at home and meditate and start to ask
Exactly.
for some awareness, start to ask for some openings for action, for some insight and to where to go. Or just it can also be as simple as removing some of the blocks that are in the way of you receiving what's already there being given to you laid at your doorsteps. You can't even see because you're like, no, it has to look like that.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So where in
Exactly.
our lives are we not just receiving all the gifts that are given and laid to us right now?
Exactly. You know, the universe wants us to live, for lack of a better term, orgasmically. You know? The universe, the creator, God, whatever you want to believe, whatever that energy is, trust me,
Mm,
that energy wants you to live orgasmically, you know? And what would it take for every single day of our lives
mm,
to be absolutely orgasmic? And for us to not judge ourselves as wrong, or for us to not be sluts and whores and all that kind of stuff, but just to enjoy and enjoy all of the blessings that the universe has for us. What
mm,
will it take?
mm. All right.
uh I can tell you that Wednesday mornings is orgasmic for me. It's having this kind of exchange. It's having this communion
Yeah.
with each other, with all of you guys who are watching, past, present, and future. It's this communion with Earth. It's a communion with the energy. It's like such a contribution, you know?
Mm. It's so awesome. Yeah, I really love it. And each one of you being here is a contribution to this. So let's make a massive orgasm together.
Exactly. Let's have multiple orgasms, Benjamin.
Yeah, where you in your life where you're not giving yourself permission to receive pleasure, right? And I think that's something we're talking about too. And we just want
Yeah,
to thank you all for joining us on this. And we're going to be here live and on our podcast and all our pages again next Wednesday. So please be sure to spread the word, tag someone who could use this today, and subscribe. Put it up.
exactly. We're very excited to announce that very soon, very soon, we're going to be available on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, and where your favorite podcasts are available. So look out for that too. Ben, look, we did a thing. We did a thing. Huh.
We did.
We
Hey,
did. We gave birth to something. Here it
we
is.
did.
And all of you are in the waiting room waiting to receive. So thank you.
We're so grateful. Have a beautiful Wednesday and week, and we'll see you same time, same place next week.
And start your revolution of change and of love and of awareness and excitement for yourself. Bye,
Ooh, yes.
guys.
Bye.